I am Alessandro Tryhard.
Yeah.
I'm here with the one and only Calling Out Clinic.
The clinic. Yeah.
The Clinic. However you want to be referred. Hashtag The Clinic. Hashtag Call Out.
The calling out. It's all good.
Today we're going to come at you with 3 hot topics requested by some of our viewers. Again, if you want to see any topics in the future, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below.
Yep.
First topic we're going to hit you guys with is we're going to stay on the kind of relationship kind of genre, but we're going to go into relationship needs versus relationship wants. So,
Okay.
Clinic, why don't you just take it from here?
I mean, okay. Assuming that you followed all the steps from the first video, you should probably have either a roster or either a girl that you're thinking of dating. My only thing is, needs and wants, I got a feeling that sometimes we kind of mix the boat. I mean, we often hear guys saying, going out, I need to get laid, which it's more of a want than anything. Because, I mean, yeah, it might suck and then you might get blue balls out of it, but I mean, it doesn't, you're not going to die because you're not getting laid type of deal. So I think that as human beings, we all have this need of connecting with people. And once we have that, with family, with friends, then we have this other need, which is to, either build a family or being loved by someone else that we can actually, have fun with, fuck or whatever.
100% in agreement. The big thing with relationships is on the topic we're talking about, obviously the needs versus the wants.
Yeah.
You got to go back grassroots. Like, you got to break it down to the most basic level. And you got to Darwin it, honestly.
Okay.
You got to break it down to the most basic level and kind of like why are we here? Why are we on this earth? Kind of. That's where you got to come at this topic from.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm going to come at this topic from.
No, that's fair.
Because it's not about the needs versus wants in a relationship. We're going to segue to that.
Yeah.
It's the needs of the wants versus a relationship. So right now, I'm a guy who's single.
Okay.
Right? Versus I'm a guy who's in a relationship. Right? Couple, dating, friends with benefits, doesn't matter. There's a female partner in my life.
That you're dealing with.
That you're dealing with.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, coming at it from that perspective, right? What are my needs as a single guy? My needs as a single guy is I want a lot of the same things the guy in the relationship wants. I want companionship.
Yep.
Right? Because even if I'm going to be a dude that's going to say, well, I want to be super introverted, stay behind my computer, right? You're going to get what you're getting from a relationship where you're getting the socialization, all that from like an online video game like a World of Warcraft or any of that. Again, not what I'd be looking for personally, because I'm not trying to, get my fucking like druid up to level 90 and fucking like have it cast a spell to fucking heal my team. And like then I'm on the chat and like you're hanging out with like an elf chick and finding out that
if that's your thing,
if that's your thing. But my whole thing it's your needs versus wants.
Yeah.
Basic needs for a human being are you want some level of companionship, right? Some level or degree of socialization, whether it's a chat room, somebody talking to you in your face, waking up next to you on a pillow. That's socialization. You also need food. You need fucking water, right? So we're only talking about the socialization part today.
I hope so.
Not the food and the water.
Yeah.
So the relationship in a couple, right? In a couple, what do you want? The biggest thing people want is communication. It's the number one thing everybody asks for. It's the number one thing everybody forgets.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Then you have your physical needs, right? Whether that's, I need a blowjob every day. I need my wife to wake up and suck my dick every day. That could be a legitimate need. Some of the most happy people that I know, that's how they start off their day. That is their routine. Wife wakes up, rolls over, blows the dude, and they start their day from that point. To all the people out there, you just got married, start that. I guarantee you the fights stop, everything stops, because you need compassion in your relationship, but you also need to feel like that person's invested in you.
Yeah.
And the physicality is the easiest way for us to show investment in that person.
Yeah. I mean, no, totally right. I think, like, speaking on like communication, I think that the problem that I have is it's a weird thing. Because as a guy that, was being single and dealing with girls and whatnot, I realized something too. Like the minute where I'm like, okay, cool, I'm willing to communicate, I think it's the moment where I have nothing to work with, which is a weird thing. I don't know if it's the same thing with you, but I just realized that, I'm a pretty open guy. I mean, I call myself the goddamn calling out clinic for a reason. It's just the fact that, I'm just a straight up dude. And I realize sometimes that, you know, I go with the communication and all, and it's just like, okay, well, cool. Like, what do you want to do? And I don't want to be forcing myself out. Like, that's one of the things that I think in relationship is lacking. It's just the fact that, yeah, we can talk, but the communication needs to come in the sense that you need to be really honest, and also you need to be straightforward. Like, I don't want to be in a relationship, and it happened a few times where it's just I have to figure out things, and I'm good at that, you know. And I feel like a lot of people are just, okay, well, cool, he's gonna figure it out, but that's communication because he's talking to me, and then I react to what he says. Where communication should be like a two-way street. So,
but if we're looking at relationships, right, and we're looking at like a need versus a want,
yes,
communication, a need.
Yeah.
Sex, a need. I'd even go so far as to say blowing me every day, that's a need. The want is, you know what, I'm dating a girl that's a brunette, I want that bitch to be blonde, right? A want is, you know, I want my girl to dress like a fucking whore.
Okay.
When she's out in public, right?
Yeah.
Or I want her to not dress like a fucking whore when she's out in public. That's a want. The need is I need the communication because I need to be able to relay that message to her, and she needs to feel comfortable relaying messages back to me.
Yeah.
That's in all walks of life. The second you're dealing with a partner at any level, I'm just fucking this girl. She's on my roster, right? If I want this bitch to dress up for me and put on heels and put on the fishnets and walk fire into the fucking bedroom, lie on the bed and beg me to let her suck my dick, right? That's a want for me.
Yeah.
But if I don't have the communication, which is the need, I can't get that out of her.
No, that's
right?
true.
Because I can't create that safe space.
Okay, fair.
So I think in terms of the wants and the needs, you really need to look at your relationship and you need to kind of sort through all the bullshit and figure out, okay, well, the cap is off the toothpaste. Am I going to blow up over my partner because the cap's off the toothpaste and I've told him or her 80 times? No, you want the fucking cap to be on the toothpaste. You don't need it to be on the fucking toothpaste.
No, okay.
If you needed it on the toothpaste,
you can just do it yourself.
You can fucking do it yourself. Exactly. You want the person to do it for themselves. There's a big difference. I think you have a couple examples. You can think of some.
In terms of needs versus wants, I think that if you just go with just the complaining part, like let's say you really want to go, okay, you're in a relationship, you really want to go to that restaurant, right? Instead of going with the angle of, oh well, you know, we're not doing anything, we're always hanging out, we're always here at just either at the house doing nothing. How about you just bring up the idea and be like, hey, that would be cool if you bring me out to this place. I would like to check out this place. Because I got a feeling like sometimes we're like too much trying to figure each other out. And then instead of just being straightforward, we're just trying to trick people into doing things for us. Kind of like Inception type of deal, right?
I agree. Life is fucking Inception. And to a lot of these girls... The need versus the want is so fucking great because they don't know that it's black and white. They don't know one is a want and the other is a need. Because they'll tell you they need to go out. They need to not be at home Netflix and chilling with you. First of all, if you're just Netflix and chilling with your bitch all the time and she doesn't want that, it's not going to work. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'll give you a heads up. It's not going to work because somebody fire like you or me is going to come swoop in and I'll be like, bitch, I'll take you out. And the next thing you know, your bitch is sucking my dick, right? But that's what happens. But the important thing is that it's a need versus a want. They need to go out. No, they don't. You need to convince them what a want is. They want to go out, and you need to communicate with them that that's a want. Okay, baby, you want to have date night? On date nights, we'll go out. How many date nights you want a week? You want 3 date nights a week? Cool. We'll do 3 date nights a week. We go out. Whether that's a movie, whether we're going out for dinner, we're going to go dancing, whatever you want. You have 3 date nights a week. Your girl's blowing you every day in the morning. I can't think of a happier relationship. I'll also tell you something. I've never been in that relationship because I can't communicate to the girl that that's a need and not a want.
Well, exactly. I think that the problem is that, you know, the need, like what you need to remember is that a need is like the basic foundation of a relationship. right? It's the same thing as we were saying in the beginning where we were talking about, okay, well, we're going to bring it back to the beginning and then we're not going to talk about food. But let's say we talk about food for a sec, right? If I say the need, like I need to eat, okay? Therefore, I need calories for my body to function, okay? Well, saying that, oh, I want to go to this restaurant because I want to eat caviar, now we all know that at the end of the day, that's a want.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the same thing with a relationship. And again, like, you know, if as a guy you're saying, you know what, I need to get laid that much if I'm in a relationship, if the girl can't provide that, you gotta let her go.
Yeah.
And this is where as guys we have to just be less thirsty when it comes to it. Because I'm pretty sure, and you've done it and I've done it, you're like, oh, I could have dealt with a girl that would be easier to deal with, but I choose not to because this girl that's kind of flaky is harder than the rest that I'm dealing with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're allowing yourself to just go through hoops that you wouldn't go with other girls.
Yeah, because she's a little hotter. So she might be an 8 versus the 7, and the 7 you know in your head would be easier to deal with.
Right. But it's just like, oh my God, I want the 8. I want so much. And then she can, and the sad thing is that she can see that. And the minute she sees that, like, there's no effort in her part.
But I think you bring up a great point with obviously, you know, the sex being a need.
Yeah.
And I think most females, and again, the whole point of this show is for me to call you guys out. You know, like
Yeah.
most females don't understand that is a basic need on both sides because they're going to play the card, oh, well, I don't need to have sex. Bullshit. Because the first time that we fucked, you got addicted. That's the fact. You got the dick and you got addicted to the dick. So don't play games with it and don't try to say, well, I'm going to use it as a punishment now. Well, I'm going to withhold. Well, I'm not horny anymore.
No, but
because that's a lie. It's a lie.
No, it's a lie. It's totally a lie. But to add on that, okay, and it's gonna go to the second topic as well. Here's the thing: the reason why a girl could say that is because at the end of the day, okay, she has the need to have sex and then she has the want as well. But she can put it all together. And let me explain: because as a girl, typically you don't have to do anything to get it.
Yeah.
Right?
We all saw the episode of the Boondocks, right?
We all saw it. So it's all like for people that living under the rock and not watching the show, basically, you know, a girl can just be like, okay, cool, I want this guy to just do anything. Whether she tells you, and she rarely tells you anything, it's gonna happen. So when guys are like, oh, you know, I'm dealing with this chick, I'm dealing with this, actually what I'm doing is that I'm projecting myself to some girls and then the girls are accepting my application. That's all there is to it.
Exactly.
Okay? You're never picking up a girl for say. Unless you're literally like trying to rape her, but we're not into this shit. Like literally physically picking her up. But what I mean is just that you're talking to a girl and then she accepts what you're offering.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's all a vetting process, right?
So there you go. But my point is this. It's just the fact that a girl can't understand why a guy would need that. You know what I mean? Because for me, in a relationship or not, okay, if 3 days goes by and nothing happens, I don't have any prospects, I'm getting stressed the fuck out. Because I'm just like, I'm working, I'm doing all this shit, I'm going to the gym, I need to relax. I need companionship to relax.
Mm.
Okay? Whether it's in a relationship or whether I'm just doing Netflix and chill, whether I'm just maybe just talking to a girl, okay? I need that. But the problem is that for me to get it, right? Now that there's a want part to it. Now the want part is I want the girl to be like this, I want the girl to be like that, I want it to be curvy, whatnot. So,
but the need is that you need it. The need is that you fucking need it.
Like I want the companionship, but the want is, you know, the qualifiers. It's I want the girl to be between 5 and 6 feet.
But the need is something needs to happen to your penis.
Yes,
that is the need.
That is the need. So
that involves a woman.
Exactly.
I want to clarify. I want to clarify.
No. Exactly. So the problem is that the thought process between a man going on a quest or to find that to a woman is not the same thing. So this is why every time it's like, I don't understand why you guys cheat. I don't understand why you guys need that. I don't understand why you need to have sex every time and then. It's just because you girls have it on the go. It's just there.
Yeah.
It's like rotating. It's like clockwork.
Well, the thing that's perfect about the point you bring up, and obviously, sex being one of the big topics.
Yes.
And I feel like we cover it a lot in a lot of our videos.
Yeah.
Because it's prevalent. Like,
yeah.
It's on everybody's mind. It's what drives you. It's what drives me.
Yeah.
Right? But it gets into the paying versus the not paying, right?
Yes.
So you and me, we're single guys, right? Mm-hmm. So immediately to society, it's like, oh, well, you're a single guy. Mm-hmm. Would you pay for it or would you not pay for it? It's like, everybody wants to say, I don't have to pay for it. Because the base truth is, if you have good game, if you're a good-looking guy, you have money, all the things we talked about in the last video, you don't have to pay. But then the argument becomes, even when you're not paying, are you paying? And then if you're going to pay, and let's say you're paying for a prostitute, an escort, call girl, some chick off Backpage, right?
Yeah.
let's say that you're paying for it.
Okay.
Is that honest sex? Because I'll argue right now, and I'll make the argument, I want to hear your opinion on it, but I'll make the argument right now that the sex that I'm going to have with a hooker off of Backpage is going to be the most fucking just base. This is my need. My need is being fulfilled. I'm done with that. I'm good. I feel good right now. I can walk away. I don't have to worry about a relationship. Yeah. I don't have to worry about the drama that comes with that.
True.
She gets up and she leaves my house, or I get up and I leave the area she's in after I exchange money. I don't give a shit. Am I going to tell people? Probably not. Have I done it? No. But
I've done it.
would it make a fucking difference? That's my thing. My whole premise is there's people that are happily married, right?
Yeah.
They're in relationships. Mm-hmm. What are they doing? They're fucking around with prostitutes, right?
Yes.
There's people that are fucking, single. Mm-hmm. They're fucking around. They're a sugar daddy to some fucking wannabe Tinder princess. Yes. They're buying her groceries. Mm-hmm. They're paying her car payment and all that shit. Mm-hmm. But she's not a prostitute, right? They're just fucking and he bought her a car. But she's not a prostitute because she's not working, right? She doesn't have a Backpage account, so she's not a prostitute. But I'm saying all these girls are prostitutes.
Yes.
I'm not trying to make the statement that all women are sluts, but like I said in the other video, all women are sluts. And the reason being is because even the nice girl, the girl that I grew up with, the girl that was my neighbor down the block, that I fucked and I wanted to hang out with and all that shit, did I buy her a fucking coffee? Because if I bought her a fucking coffee and we didn't go Dutch on that coffee, technically I paid for it. When did I not pay for it? And how do we get into that argument? Because that argument you and I can have for probably the next 8 minutes of this video. We're not going to do that.
No.
But I've never felt like I've been in a situation where I'm not paying. All my ex-girlfriends, I paid for that. Whether it was a fucking necklace because the girl did anal or fucking like a bracelet because she let me fuck her, whatever. I'm not trying to say you get a bracelet and you get a necklace, but if you do anal, you get a necklace. Like,
wow. Okay. Wow. I see how your system goes.
But no. In all seriousness, right? Like the argument of am I paying or am I not paying is legitimate because I feel like even though I've never done it, right?
Yeah.
I could pick up the phone tomorrow, I could call a chick off Backpage, and I could have like my fucking half an hour, my hour, whatever I felt comfortable paying.
Yeah.
I could handpick the girl, so then I get all my wants too, right?
Yeah.
I can pick the slim bitch, long dark hair, great eyes, nice facial features. Mm-hmm. Get her to do whatever I want. She's mine for an hour. I own her for an hour.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I get the fire sex that I want. I walk away. Mm-hmm. What is the downside?
There is no downside, but the problem is just the fact that it's too straightforward for society. And let me explain. It's just because it's the same thing with, why is prostitution in itself is not legal, but then we have porn stars all around the fucking place. And it's the same thing. When you think about it, right, you're getting paid to have random dudes, they're probably like the same 10 dudes from the industry because there's not many of them.
Yeah.
Fucking these girls left and right on camera. Nobody says shit. But then a girl says, well, I want to be a prostitute. Well, now she's got to go on Backpage. She can't use her real photos. She has to use, bootleg fucking phone numbers and then change it every now and then. So the problem is just that society thinks that paying for it is an issue in itself because it means that we don't have game. It means that this and this and that. But at the end of the day, listen. The minute you decide to either pursue a girl, even tomorrow you have a girl saying, hey, let's hang out, and you want to find out whether she's going to be a prospect, you're paying. You haven't seen the girl yet, you're paying. And let me explain why. You have to buy clothes, right? So basically you're losing money off that because the shirt that you're wearing is actually wearing out.
Yeah.
Not by a lot, but...
Well, did I make the car payment? Because the car that I'm driving there is depreciated the second I drive it off the lot.
Okay.
Right?
So if we take every instance where you're essentially investing money into something that you don't know if it's going to turn out or not. You're going to take a shower. There's electricity to it. You know, you're going to eat. You're going to brush your teeth. You're going to use gel, whatever. You're going to get prepped up and make sure, right? So why can't I just do the same thing and then have a set amount of money and then knowing that this is exactly what's going to happen? What is the problem with that? Because I know that if I'm paying for cable, right? Cable is going to be like, we're giving you 30 channel. As long as you give me $50 per month, those 30 channels are going to be there no matter what.
Yeah.
Same thing with a phone bill, a car payment, same thing. You pay the car and it's like you pay $350 for the car, okay, and you pay whatever insurance or whatever it is, but let's say car payment. As long as you pay that car, okay, you have warranty, so we're going to make sure that it runs properly, and we're not going to take it away.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, what's the problem if instead of just running around going on POF, Tinder, whatever, if you guys are gay, Grindr, it doesn't freaking matter. What's the point of actually running around doing that if all I want is the need to have sex?
Yeah. But if I could just build off of what you're saying, basically, the way I interpret what you're saying is you're coming at it from a perspective of, if I'm in a relationship, why would I pay for the possibility of an inconsistency when I can have a finite fucking rule of thumb, a control, if you will.
Yes.
A control, and that control is going to perform at the same fucking level every time because it's in the prostitute's best interest.
Yes.
To be fire every time she shows up, to wear what I tell her to wear. And to be the fire prostitute, let me do whatever I want to her so she can get tipped and so I can come back.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
For a girlfriend, it's not about that, right? I can take her on 50 dinners, but all of a sudden, I take her on 50 dinners, she's like, oh, Ray, time of the month, I don't want to hang out. I'm like, I told you once, I'll tell you again, that's not my issue. That's your issue, right? I'm a select guy like that, but I'm also saying this. I'm saying like, okay, so let's say I look back on one of my ex-relationships where this girl's got mad, like, you know, the whole, like, just batshit crazy thing going on. So all of a sudden, I pay for one dinner, you know, we go home, we have sex. Next week, I pay for another dinner, we go home, and then there's a whole fight that breaks out over fucking nothing because nothing happened because she's a fucking jealous monster like every chick out there. And then I don't get sex. So why am I paying for the possibility of inconsistency, to your point, when I can pay for a finite, sure thing that's going to be exactly what I want it to be? And you know what? The whole thing with the paying versus not paying too, and, you know, getting into the whole back page and all that shit with the escorts is, oh, well, you're paying for emptiness. You know, like, that's not a sex, like, that's not real sex. This is my point to those girls that believe in that. Because it's women that believe in that. Sure. And the dudes that believe in that, probably gay. Okay? Listen, not trying to call dudes out, but probably. Okay? Listen, all I'm saying is you need to understand that what I'm looking for in that instant is, like you're saying, to cover that need, right?
Yes.
That need is, I need to have sex right now with what I want. So if I can get the wants and I can get the need, check off 2 birds with 1 stone, good. You have dudes that are willing to take dragons home because they just want to get 1 check, right? Yeah. And that happens at the clubs all the time.
All the time.
But, you know, that's considered sex, right? Because he didn't pay for it. Because he picked a fat 400-pound girl off the street when everybody was going home at 3 a.m. She's got a beard, and he was like, well, fuck it. Let me take her home anyway. No, fuck that. I'd rather pay $100 and fuck the 105-pound chick that's a 34C with multicolored hair and tattoos. That's what I want to fuck. So that's what I'm going to fuck for $100.
But yeah, no. But you're right. But the thing is, again, when you go with the angle of the guy that did that, right? The same issue is going to apply again. right? Because they're gonna be like, well, you didn't have game, and this is why you went with this. So the argument is the same. So the paying and not paying is not an argument when we look at it. It's not an argument because at the end of the day, when we talk about money, money is being spent. So, do I want to buy like penny stocks and then see if they're gonna grow up, or buy into a stock that I know has been performing for the past fucking 10 years?
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. That's the argument.
Yeah.
And then you put it to people.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden there's feelings to it, and it's like, well, it's not the same thing because look, this is the reason why when it comes to relationship, okay, I don't knock people that are in it. I want to be in a relationship, but the problem is that I would need a girl that understands that aspect.
No, that makes sense to me. My whole thing is that relationships themselves, the whole definition of a relationship is just so fucking gray to me and so morally fucking ambiguous that it can't pick a side whether it's good or it's fucking evil. And that's what's fucking hilarious because I'll go back to the whole escort scenario. If I'm paying this girl $100 and I fuck this girl once a week, every fucking week, and I fucked her, let's say, 50 times in a year. I took 2 weeks off. Vacation, right?
Yep.
There you go.
There you go.
So I fucked her 50 times in a week.
Yeah.
At what point does that relationship no longer become Hooker and John and instead become I'm a fucking sugar daddy because I'm just giving her money and fucking her, right? And also, I'll break into our third topic, which is treatment of girls, right? So my whole thing is treatment of girls, right? This girl, to me, that's no longer a John escort relationship. Now I'm a sugar daddy because fuck it. She's coming over. She's getting shit from me in exchange for sex. Whether she's using that $100 to pay her gas bill, I'll just tell myself, well, I'm paying her gas bill every fucking month because I'm giving her $400 and I'm fucking her 4 times, right?
Fair.
So regardless of what she's spending it on, I can justify how it's not that, right?
Yes.
And in my head, I can do that. Anybody can do that.
Yes.
That's how the sugar daddy relationship works. But am I going to treat a girl in a sugar daddy relationship different than I'm going to treat a potential girlfriend? To me, no. But the issue is society is going to say, well, you still think of that girl as a whore. No, society, the truth is, I think of all of them as fucking whores. So whether it's a sugar daddy fucking like girl that wants to be spoiled relationship or literally just the girl next door that was my neighbor and was my girlfriend, like either one of them, I'm going to treat them like a fucking whore because I know the truth. I know that you're going to bat eyes at everybody else. I know that you're going to look. I know that you're going to have the same fucking thoughts I have when a hot guy walks by. Just like I have when a fire girl walks by or we go sit at a restaurant and we get sit with the fire server and I'm checking out the server all night. And you're like, well, you're being disrespectful. I'm not. Because you know what? I'm not dead. I'm in a relationship. That's the fucking truth.
No, true. No, you're totally right. I think what the problem is the stigma with those words, right? We're like, oh, that girl's a slut. Oh, that girl's a whore. I have no issues with that. Because at the end of the day, the girl that's in a relationship, she needs the attention. She needs you to, call her every day or text her every day. Hey, good morning, good night, how you been? Have conversations. Sometimes I don't care for. Sometimes I do, but I'm saying like, the fact of caring about people is sometimes you have to listen to shit you don't want to, right? Then you have to force shit out. Oh, she has a bad day. I'm not having my needs met and all. That's cool. But I think that society needs to get out with the whole stigma shit. Oh, she's a whore. It sounds so bad. It's nothing bad. At the end of the day, we can pretty much say we are all the same. We're all whores if it comes to that. If we really want to push it. And why I'm saying that is because at the end of the day, the girl's in a relationship. I have to do all that. I'm not paying her directly.
Yeah.
But the minute I'm like, okay, I got to plan this. This is my time.
I just think it's funny because like I know both you and I have had relationships with fucking dancers, strippers, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
But you and I are the types that will have a relationship with a fucking stripper, right?
I wouldn't care.
But I wouldn't care either.
No.
But the funny thing is, does that make me a fucking pimp? In society's eyes, I'm a pimp, right?
But you're not.
But exactly. And that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to redefine shit. Like this podcast is trying to redefine shit. All we're doing is we're telling people the fucking truth.
Yeah.
And all it is this is the perspective, right? So, hey, you don't agree with what the fuck we're saying on here? Back the fuck off. I don't need your dislike. I don't need your thumbs down. I don't need any of that
Well,
shit.
it's gonna happen.
No, but my attitude is like, the trolls are on there, right?
Yeah.
But my whole thing is like, I don't need to hear, I'm treating women differently, blah, blah, blah. Feminists, go away. I don't need that shit. All I'm telling you right now is that this is the opinion that I feel isn't out there. Nobody is talking about this shit.
True.
The thing that everybody's talking about is how everybody needs to be treated equally and treated like this. So I'm coming at it from the perspective, cool, you want to be treated equally? Let me tell you what I'm thinking so that you can see how equal I see it. Because I'm not telling women out there, or if you're getting from the podcast, that I'm saying that I'm better than you. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I'll tell you right now, I consider myself a whore. I consider myself a fucking slut. I'm going to throw myself the fuck under the bus too. We're men. Do we do stupid shit? All the fucking time. All the fucking time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Is there a girl version of this podcast calling us out? There's fucking 8,000 of them. There's 8,000 of them.
Yeah, but the only problem that I have with, you know, if ever there was a podcast that was like us, the only problem that would be prevalent, I think, is just the fact that they would say, well, it's bad to treat girls that way. It's bad to, you know, I don't know, slut shame, whatever that means, because
That's
it's
a
really
fucking
stupid.
thing? There's no way that's a fucking thing.
Dude.
You just made that shit up.
Are you kidding
Slut
me?
shame?
There is slut shame. Look, and the reason why I'm laughing about this is, look it up on YouTube. It's all over the place. But the reason I think it's really funny is what is shame? If we're looking at what is shame, it's a feeling. Okay? It's you're hurt because you heard something. You heard something that somebody said, whether it's true or not. So shame at the end of the day comes from us.
Yeah.
Okay? If a girl shows up to me and she says, "Man, whatever, you're fat." If I don't care, there's no shame.
Yeah.
The reason I would care is either A, I think I'm fat, or B, I'm not, and I'm just being like, "Oh well, I think you're fat too," blah blah.
Yeah.
So this whole like slut shaming is stupid. Because if a girl comes up to me and I'm like, "Oh, you're a slut," and then the girl's like, "Yeah, I love just fucking guys. I'm not in a relationship. I fuck guys. That's what I do."
Yeah.
I think the guy's fired. Yeah, we had sex. So what? Where's the shame in that?
I'd fucking marry that girl. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Because I'll tell you right now, I have more respect for the girl that's willing to admit who the fuck she is than everyone who's hiding behind the glass. Like this whole premise, that's the whole reason you and me sat down and started this.
Yes.
Was because we were like, let's rip the fucking veil off, you know, and let's see who the fuck we're dealing with. Because the problem is, how many fucking girls are walking down the aisle wearing white fucking virgin white dresses? And it's like, but half the dudes in the wedding party fucked you. So how does that work, right? So I'm not trying to say, let's not get into the dresses, let's not get into this, let's not get into that, but it's the premise of everybody wants no one to know what the fuck is going on with
Which is stupid.
Which is fine too,
okay,
right?
okay.
Because at the end of the day, what goes on in your bedroom, whether you're gay, whether you're fucking straight, all that shit, I don't fucking care, right? Because I'm not in that bedroom, right? When I'm in the bedroom with the chick, what goes on in that bedroom, again, it's my business, right? If I choose to share it, I got to okay it with her. Those are the rules, right?
No.
So I'm not going to immediately run over and be like, yo, like, blew her back out like this, and, you know.
Who does that? Who does that? Maybe girls do that, but I know for a fact, like, if you're coming to me, you're like, yo, clinic, I just, this girl, man, I was, like, trying to talk to for a few minutes or whatnot. Shit happened. That's the end of the conversation.
I mean, let's get real. Like, there's some details.
Yeah, but
But
you're not saying, look, it's not like Mission Impossible, and you're like, okay, 9:05, got into her place. 9:08.
I think that's 24. I think that's
24. That's 24. But never mind. And being like, okay, Mission Impossible, I'm gonna try to like jump to a window and try to grab her. You're not doing all that, okay? But you gotta.
My whole thing is girls need to understand whether or not you're willing to admit that you're a slut or not. It's not going to affect the way I treat you.
No.
If anything, it's going to allow me to respect you more.
Yes.
Because you're able to fucking show me who you really are.
You're honest about
and I'm going to be straight with you, right? Like, you and me, we both work the same way. Like, I'm not going to meet a girl on POF. I'm not going to meet a girl on Tinder because Tinder's a hookup app. Yeah. So, let's use POF OkCupid as an example, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go meet a girl on POF OkCupid.
Yes.
And say to myself, okay, I'm going to go on a date with this girl. I'm going to date her for 30 days or 90 days like Steve Harvey says and think like a fucking man, whatever shit. Trying to sell out the rest of us. Like, fuck you, Steve Harvey. Anyway, I'm not going to do any of that shit because I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be one of those girls that's going to try to, like, withhold and all that shit. And I'm not going to pressure you. I'm not going to be like, let's fuck on the first date, let's fuck on the third date. But I'm a go with the flow type of guy.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you right now, if I date you for more than 2 weeks and we don't have sex, I'm not going to date you anymore. Because it's a trust thing for me, right? If we can't build trust over 2 weeks, I don't want to be with you. Fair. And I'm not trying to say, oh, well, I have to fuck the girl in 2 weeks. But it should be organic. It should be something that both of you want.
But that's the problem.
Right?
It's just exactly like I think you hit it on the nail. It's just the thing is this: whenever there's a set rule, okay, the set rule makes it so that it's not organic anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Because the minute, even for me, even if I say, you know what, I'm not going out for a month, I'm not gonna talk to any chick for a month. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't because I'm going to go to the gym, there's going to be girls there. I'm going to my job, there's going to be girls there. If a girl's interested in me now, I'm going to break the rule because?
Yeah.
No. A rule should be there. It's only there because you want to prevent something bad to happen. Okay? But for a girl to say, look, I don't want to sleep with that dude for 90 days. If it happens, cool.
Yeah.
But at any point, if anyone that I know goes to that shit, it's like, why do you even deal with a girl like that?
Oh well, I mean, we have a mutual friend, right?
Yes.
A mutual friend that basically hangs out with a chick for like 3 months.
Yes.
Then nothing ends up happening.
Right.
And then ends up like resenting her because he's like, bro, like what the fuck? She won't have sex with me.
Yeah, but
and it's not even like. But then it's gotten to the point now that there's so much resentment that they can't even bring it up and communicate it.
Well, no,
right? Because then there's no communication at all in the relationship,
right?
And then it's causing more rifts and more problems.
Yeah, yeah.
So, sex, it's a need, right? If you're in a relationship, you're not in a relationship, doesn't matter. I'm telling you right now, I'm single, right? Sex is a need, right? What am I gonna go do? What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do what I said in the first video. I'm gonna either go fucking call some fucking exes, or I'm gonna go build a roster.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, my roster's coming along, right? Your roster is coming along.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. We've had some improvement. That's why we haven't done the podcast in a little bit. But
running around missions.
All I'm saying is,
yes.
Am I treating these girls on the roster any differently?
No.
Am I treating my ex-girlfriends any differently? No. I'm not going to beef you or call you out or tell the fucking world who you are. Rip your fucking mask off unless I fucking hate you. Unless I fucking resent you. And then, even so, I'm a fucking professional. You're a fucking professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have these jobs. We're fucking YouTube fucking gurus as well. But we're fucking professionals on the outside of this shit too. For sure. Right? So I can't run around and then have all this shit dragging these people through the mud, getting on these social network back and forth, Twitter fucking things. I can't do that shit. Because you can't do that shit.
I can't
but to end on a positive note,
yes.
If you are an escort, if you are an ex-girlfriend, if you're a current girlfriend, if you're a friend with benefit, if you're a chick on the roster, if you're a girl I met walking down the street, if you're a girl in my gym, I'm going to treat you all with the same level of respect. Totally. You're going to see the chivalrous gentleman that's going to hold open a fucking door.
Totally.
I'm going to open the door on your side to get into my car.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to offer to pay for everything.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I'm going to anticipate that if we're fucking dating, eventually we get to a level where it's Dutch, because that's the way society works now. That's the way it works with me. Fuck that shit.
50-50. Yes.
Still cheap as fuck. You know? But yeah. All I'm saying is you're going to get treated the same. So
totally.
If you're honest with me, I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm an honest guy. I don't have time to play games. And we mentioned this before. There's no point. You don't have the time to run around. I don't have the time to run around. We don't have time to make this fucking podcast of doing it. You know? But we're doing it because people are fucking requesting it. They're like, yo, it's been a month. Where is it? When's the next video? When are you guys going to put it out? So it's here. So, with that, closing notes.
I mean, we stand by everything we're saying. I know it's going to sound like, oh my God, those guys are just, I don't know, like really bad. They're treating women, they hate women. Look, it's not that. It's just about like the hate that we have that you can probably like sense from our voice is just the fact that we don't like the bullshit. That's it. Okay. If everything and anything was honest, we wouldn't have to like even have the freaking podcast.
Oh, it would.
The vlog in the first place.
We wouldn't.
So all we're saying is this, like I had treated girls that I've just met at the club and slept with within 2 hours better than girlfriends because they were cooler, and it had nothing to do with where I met them.
But it also had nothing to do with the fact that these ones fucked you immediately.
No,
it was a mutual respect.
Yeah,
and it's a communication thing.
It's communication.
And I'm big on that too.
Exactly. So to end the video, well, just remember, guys and girls, that at the end of the day, it's all about what you are and embracing what you are. Okay? There's no shame into anything. Nobody can shame you into, oh, you're this, oh, you're fat, or you're this, or you're whatever, you're gay, or all that. The minute they can, it's because you're allowing them to do it. You're allowing people to use words to affect your psyche, to affect your energy, and affect how you're going to think about life. Nobody can change that unless you allow them to. So at the end of the day, march on. Have fun. We're pretty much done with 2015 now.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I don't think there's going to be another video before 2016.
So, boys and girls, have fun. Get your drink on, because I will. And that's it, man. That's the end of the video. Okay,
listen. We're wrapped for 2015. This video, actually, we did it at the end of 2015. Probably not going to get it before New Year's. I'm going to tell you right now, today is what? 29th?
29th.
Yeah, there is no way this is coming out before New Year's. But it'll probably be up. First video we'll post in 2016. We will try to get back to the once-a-week schedule. Sure. More realistically, going to be looking at once every 2 weeks because we got fucking lives, guys. But it's been your boy, Calling Out Clinic.
Yeah.
It's been your boy, Alessandro Tryhard here. And like Clinic said, words of wisdom, we're here for you. And guys, let us know what you want to talk about. We are going to try to stay in this genre a little bit more, talking about relationships, ripping the fucking face off what society says in terms of, what's good, what's bad. Today was one hell of a topic. Yeah. We're talking about fucking back page hookers. We're talking about like wants versus needs, sex in a relationship, blow your fucking husbands, because honestly, it's all about keeping people happy, right? Bob Marley said it, right? Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Right? But you have that shit, nobody's going to beef you. No one's going to find an excuse to come after you.
Yep.
There's no hard feelings, and you'll be in the best place you've ever been in your relationship. So, guys, thank you so much for all your support. Give this video a like. Give it a fucking share. Put it on Facebook. Put it fucking everywhere. I don't care. I want to see this shit on fucking Twitter. I want to see this fucking shit on MySpace. I don't give a fuck if you don't use MySpace. Google+. All that shit, throw it out there. Link to your boys' channel will be below as well. Yep. Make sure you subscribe to that. We're going to be doing videos on Clinic's channel. I'm going to try to put some up on mine next. But thank you so much, fam. Take it easy. Enjoy 2015.
Ciao.